Yeah, I thought Coach Flood does a great job with his team. He's run the ball, they're big, they're physical, they're very, very athletic team. He's even kicked it up since Coach Shiano was here. Those receivers really played outstanding. Quarterback played really well. They got a real tough defense. They blitzed us some, and they played good. We had some sacks. They're a really good football team.
Well, what happened with Tanner there?
He's injured right now. He'll get evaluated, but he went out, I think, in the second quarter, and he couldn't finish.
How much did that affect your offense? It seemed pretty stagnant in the second half.
Yeah, because Tanner practiced all week, and you do some reps with Devin and a little bit with Nick, but they don't get the majority of reps, so we had to cut down exactly what we had to do, and we wasn't very effective.
What type of injury?
No, I think he got sacked, something in his arm or shoulder. I really don't know for exactly what the injury is.
What happened early on in the game with some mistakes?
Yeah, we made some mistakes. We playing some kids that right now probably shouldn't be playing, but we had some early on mistakes, some penalties, and some mishaps early on, and I actually cut our penalties down some.
But you've been hanging for the most part in the first half with everybody. Not the case today.
No, you know what? I thought we got behind a little bit. We gave up some big plays. Usually we don't give up big plays. Defensively, we gave up some really, really big plays early on. And, it's a credit to the head coach, Coach Flood, and his group. I thought they played really, really. Those receivers caught the ball well. The quarterback was very, very poised. Played like a senior.
Was it a little bit surreal to see teams throwing at Dawson as often as they were?
Yeah, they were. Yeah, you know what? And you would want Dawson to play just a little bit better, but he didn't. He did manage to get one pick, but he really didn't play as well as we wanted to. I thought our defensive line got a little bit manhandled early on, especially in the passing game. I thought we did a decent job running, but passing game, they did a great job of protecting their guy.
5 games in, since your first game, in terms of positive, how much has this team grown?
Well, I think they're growing somewhat. If you look at what we did, Tanner was 7 out of 9, for 81 yards. He's come a long way. He didn't throw any interceptions. We moved the ball. I think our running game is pretty good. Sherman got over 100 yards. LeCedric was 4 yards per carry. That's a big, tough, physical Big Ten team that you're playing against, And then, you look when Montana came in with a little practice. He was 5 for 5. We just got to cut down the sacks.
Yeah, your kicking game, to get down the field like you did twice. I think you got to the 10 one time and got sacked out of it, and then you miss a field goal, you miss an extra point. How much is that taken away from the team, not only on the scoreboard? But
yeah, you know what? You look at some of those things. You usually in years past, we a little bit spoiled. We had Cairo, and it was just automatic. You even play games differently. And now all of a sudden you got a true freshman coming in. And he's trying to kick. I think he's got a little bit nervous. He's a little bit stage fright. This kid comes in and he kicks one extra point. He doesn't make that. Then he hits the goal pole on another one. We just got to get him practicing and get him doing better.
Do they throw the ball a little bit more than you expected, especially early on? I know you talked about the run all week.
Yeah, well, one of the things that the guy's a smart guy. He's a smart coach. We begin to stack the box and do some some zone blitzes and stuff to stop his running game. So he threw it. He's smart.
Yeah.
The penalties, is that just a youth thing, and how detrimental were they?
They're very detrimental for the most part. We got 7 this game. This is the least we've gotten all year long. Usually it's more. We're playing a lot of young players. We're playing, I think, the second most, freshmen and sophomores out of everybody in the world, I guess. So these young kids get in the game and they're a little bright-eyed, and they just can't sustain it.
Is the off week coming at a good time?
Right now, perfect. We got to clean up some stuff.
Did you see some positives from Devin? He got in the open field a little bit. I know it wasn't a lot, but did you see enough that you can play him next week?
Yeah, I like that drive that he had, right before the half, and understand, you don't practice the second team or the third team quarterback very much, so he was doing a lot of stuff just off memory from training camp, and, I thought he played well, got a couple throws in there, got a nice run going, he did some stuff, but again, when you lose your starter, especially your freshman who needs all the reps in practice, you don't give very many other guys reps at quarterback.
You've mentioned, this team, the schedule has been harder than it was last year. Does this team have a little bit of a confidence issue right now as far as, you're going into this bye week? You guys haven't won in a long time.
No, we hadn't won in a long time. And, the confidence is one of the things that you like with a young team. And we just got to figure out a way to get some of our confidence or get our swagger back a little bit, because, going into this thing, you knew this could happen because you look at you playing ACC, Big Ten, that could possibly happen. So we just got to do some things in practice this week to build some momentum.
It always changes things because that's the guy you've been getting all the reps during practice, and he was starting to settle in a little bit. He had some sacks and things like that. But I thought he was handling the game plan pretty well at that point, so I felt pretty good. And then when he went out, we do have two backups that have played in a lot of games. Powell's actually played this is his third year playing, because unfortunately we've had some issues with getting our quarterbacks injured at times. So that's the toughest thing. But you really just have to move on. Those guys just run the plays, and you got to execute the offense. And we just need some guys around them to make some plays.
The issues with the sacks, is that an offensive line issue? Is that a quarterback issue? Is that people not getting open?
It's a combination. Third and long, extra long, we're really playing on our heels, and that's the biggest thing we tried to stress this week, is to get in third and manageable situations. So when it's 3rd and 10, you can't jump off sides and put yourself behind the chains like that. And once they do that, they're really good at twisting and just getting rushed with their 4 guys, and they had a real good plan mixing up their defenses on 3rd down, and it caused us some troubles, and holding the ball a little bit, a combination of everything really.
The penalties, especially some of the pre-snap stuff and down in the red zone, how much does that hurt you as a play caller to have to deal with those kinds of things?
Well, I got to look at what I'm calling in the red zone and pretty much the whole game, just to put the guys in the best situation that they can. That's really the main thing. I got to do a better job of doing that so that they can have success, because it's been kind of the same story for a few weeks now. We're driving the ball pretty decent at times, and then not being able to put the ball in the end zone and get the ball down there and get little penalties here and there. And it's not really one guy, it's a combination. So when things are going bad, that's kind of what you look back at. So we need to clean a lot of things up, starting with me and the play calling.
I figured that I had to go in and play and do my job, handle my business, and execute.
Yeah, so Tanner went out after that drive. Did you know at that point that he wasn't coming back in?
I really didn't know, so I just kept in my mind that I gotta finish the game. So he might be down, out for the such and such. So I just had in my mind I gotta finish the game.
Is it tough to come in a situation like that? I know you've done it before, but to come in middle of the game, especially when you're trailing, what's the mentality like?
Well, the mentality I had, just keep the team up. Try your best to score points and just stay in the game, execute plays, and try to score touchdown.
3rd quarter, it seemed like they adjusted a little bit on you after you had a nice drive to end the half. Difficult 3rd quarter. What did they do differently? Was it were they kind of switching up their defense on you a bit?
Yeah, they kind of switched up a little bit from here and there. So we try to adjust to it, but things happen.
Their D-line has been good at getting after the quarterback all year. They had 4 sacks today. What did they do that's so difficult?
I figured they kind of did some of the stunts. That's about it. That's the only thing they really did. That's the only thing I saw.
Sorry. As I say, you got 1 and 4. You being a quarterback, you feel a little bit, especially going to the bye, that you kind of have a little responsibility to keep these guys up and everything?
Yes. I feel like I got to step up to the plate now, Tanner down, I got to step up big time. And I got to lead the team to more victories.
We came out, to start the game off, we were playing well, we knew we needed a big play, I felt it was time, for someone to set the tempo, and I listened to my coach. I took the crumb, I was playing small and just waiting for the play to come open, and it just popped open for me.
This offense, it seemed like you guys had some moments again where the drives were moving and then something stalled, penalties or otherwise. How frustrating is that starting to become?
Right. As a player and for the team, it's very frustrating. But we have to, we can't worry about it. We have to focus on what's next. We can't focus on what we do wrong throughout the whole game, or we're going to play bad. So we try our best to just worry about what's next, and we'll move on to the next play.
Is it difficult when you switch quarterbacks midway through the game? Obviously, Tanner goes down, and Devin's in there. Haven't taken the same amount of reps with him. What's the adjustment like?
I wouldn't say it's very difficult, because throughout practice of the week, all our quarterbacks are rotating in with each, back, each receiver. So, we're comfortable with all the quarterbacks, so I don't think it's a difficult transition at all.
Specific problems Rutgers presented defensively?
They were a very good team. They sent a lot of blitzes, a lot of stunts, crisscrossing, but as a team, we just got to prepare on stunts better. We understand the O-line knows, what we need to work on better throughout the week of practice.
They're good at stopping the run. What makes them so difficult to run against?
I think we just hurt ourselves, I have to say. I feel like as a team, we had a couple of plays, where we had a few mentals that we need to work on, but I don't feel like they're doing anything, out of the extraordinary that we have never seen before.
You like the idea that you got a week off, or would you rather get right back in it?
I feel good that we have a week off. We get our bodies back under us. Everyone gets healthy. And have a good week of practice.
The first 2 drives there, Sam mentioned a little bit of miscommunication, maybe just kind of doing 1 or 2 steps the wrong way. How much do you think that cost you guys there early?
That cost us big time. It was 2 touchdowns. You know, that put our offense down 2 possessions with a young quarterback. You know, which is hard. You know, with the type of offense we run.
Did they throw more than you expected, especially early?
No, they didn't throw it as much as we thought they was going to throw. You know, we thought probably they was going to try to throw it more because of the game last week with Duke.
Mm-hmm.
But they came out and they ran their offense and they did a good job at it.
The play action seemed particularly difficult. Is that just because, you know, that's a team that can run the ball? You guys are playing a lot of cover zero, that kind of stuff.
It wasn't really cover zero. They just did a good job at executing what they had to do. We was in a position to make the plays, but they outplayed us right there, and they made the play better.
How much are you having to talk to these guys and keep the confidence up? 1-4 is obviously not where you thought you'd be right now.
A lot, because we got a lot of young guys. With a lot of young guys on the team, you know, we got to keep them up because they don't know how to lose. And we got a lot of guys from Curtis, who's a winning program. And different schools around the city with winning programs, they don't know how to lose. With this, keep their confidence up. We don't want them to tank it and think the season is over.
Is the bye week at a good time
Yes.
because of that?
Perfect time.
Yeah. When you lose a quarterback and the offense is kind of struggling, and you know, do you count on a guy like Doss to make a play? It looked like he almost had a pick six there. Are you telling him a little bit to be more aggressive, go try to make some more plays?
Oh, yeah, I tell him I got your back. You know, at safety, I could tell him, you know, do what you got to do. I got your back. If they beat you deep, it's on me. You know, but he's a guy that gives a lot of energy to the team, and when he makes a play like that, you seen how the energy switch quick. You know, I thought we had it. We thought we was gonna come back.
They threw at you probably more than you've been thrown at all year. Were you expecting it? Did it catch you a little bit by surprise early on as they were throwing at you?
I mean, I was expecting it. I mean, it's football at the end of the day, but it was just a tough one.
Did you try to make a gamble kind of on that first touchdown? It looked like you were running up trying to make a pick and it got over your head. Was that something, were you trying to make the interception there?
Oh, yeah. I was trying to make the play. I mean, Coach always teach me, he always tell me at the last minute if I could make the play, make it, but I still have to protect myself, so that was my fault on that. I jumped it, tried to jump it, tried to time it up right, and he just lobbed it over my head.
Can you take us through that interception you had?
Yeah, I mean that's just from watching film with my coaches. I mean they had a great game plan for the 3 receiver trips look, and I was in man coverage and I jumped it. I felt comfortable with it, and I just made a play on the ball.
You think you were going to get that for a pick six?
Oh yeah, definitely. He tripped me up at the last minute. I was kind of mad about it.
And then I think it might have been the next drive you tried to make another jump on a ball. Was that just same kind of thing? You're just trying to make a play?
Yeah, I was just trying to make a play when needed. I mean, Darren Monroe gave me the call to make the play, and I just have to make it because that's just from watching film, knowing what they're gonna do, and he told me out coming. I just gotta make it.
Sam had mentioned, you know, he was disappointed with the way y'all played as a group. He thought, you know, there were some mistakes, especially early, things that you guys don't typically do. Did you feel that frustration early on, you know, the first couple of drives especially?
Oh yes. It was really on us. We had a great game plan for him. We just got to execute it as a back end.
Yeah, well, we expected play action pass, but we didn't know it was going to be there early. Yeah, they kept hitting us with it.
Play a quarterback who can move like that and who's getting accurate on throws, how difficult does that become, especially early in the game?
It's kind of crazy, you know, because they're a run first team, so you're playing hard run. So we really couldn't do nothing about getting pressure from the middle, and he likes to roll off outside, and he was very accurate with his throws.
What kind of problems did that line present for you guys?
Well, it really wasn't any major problem. It was the play. I felt like the play action kind of hurt us bad because we was playing run so hard, and he was rolling out.
The first 2 drives of the game, particularly, you know, they just like Duke, they went down the field. Did something happen in particular? Were you guys just caught off guard, or how do you explain it?
I think we were kind of caught off guard because we was prepared, and they just hit us with a couple of big plays early.
How deflating was that, you know, 93-yard touchdown? You guys pin them down inside the 1, and I imagine that's probably a point of pride for you guys. What was that, you know, to give up that drive? How difficult was that?
It was difficult, but, you know, we had to put it behind us, and I feel like we came out in the second half and did pretty good.
Yeah, what was the bounce back, the adjustment? Did you guys do something differently? Did they change what they were doing offensively as things calmed down in the last 3 quarters?
Not really. I feel like they really didn't come out in the second half doing as much as play action pass, and we shut down the run. So